Hello. Yeah, I have an experience to share. I'll just get right into it. The experience, this actually had this last night where after I had laid and put the body down for the night, and so I was just resting, I got this view where it was two people walking side by side. There was a person on the left hand side and there was a person on the right side. And they're just walking. It's an all black space. There's nothing around. It's just they're just walking kind of like on nothing and kind of to nowhere. Just sort of like the people is the setup. So I'm looking at them probably from a bird's eye view. I'd say probably would look like maybe 30 feet, kind of above them. So this is related to the personal self in a way, kind of like that overview and looking at the body forms objectively. And as I'm looking at them, all of a sudden I see that the person on the left hand side is a person that is not aware of the real awareness or is not like connected to the real awareness, and on the right hand side is like a person who is. And I was within both of those body forms. That for a moment I was inside the person's body that was not aware, and I became just, I mean, I actually really recognized how much or how affected that kind of consciousness can be. That I was seeing that the person without the real awareness, it's almost like they're missing their little buffer between them and the world and the subliminals and the tap lining and everything, that it's all coming right at them. And I remember when I was within that consciousness, it was like I felt like a ton of bricks. I felt like a giant anchor. I was just super heavy. And it's kind of crazy because of course I was encased in the personal consciousness before becoming aware and certain things like that. And I never recognized or really realized how just heavy I was before. So it almost reminded me of that commercial. You guys ever see that commercial? Maybe it's more an American thing, but there's a commercial that used to go around where it was like a person would crack an egg in an omelet. The egg would be your brain, and then you'd crack the egg and fry it in the pan, and it'd be like, that's your brain on drugs. It's kind of corny, but like that was the commercial. It kind of reminded me of something like that. It's where you got the person without the real awareness connection, and then you got the person with the real awareness connection. It's not that there's a better than or something like that, but definitely having that real awareness connection allows you, really enables you to be able to deal with the world in a much smoother, much more without resistance type of way. You sort of can just be. You can just be and be very indifferent, like Kevin's experience was saying. Just being very, very indifferent. And so again, when the person without the real awareness connection, they are like a ton of bricks. And so I could really see why it was so hard for them to get it sometimes, because it's just, you're so heavy. There's nothing else that you can really see. It's like that gel that Kevin made mention of. It really is like a gel where you can't really turn left or right or front and back and look up. Even though you can with the body, you can articulate in certain ways. You really can't with your awareness. It's very difficult. Becomes very difficult. And again, the person with the real awareness, well, they were relatively free. Relatively less restricted, not free, but less restricted. Really less restricted. And so anyways, I could just see that it was a nice little kind of comparison. It's kind of like light and day, or from then to now type of thing. But for anybody, that just basically, and also what I got from it is excuse me, is not to take any of it for granted, of having the real awareness connection. That is really very precious. So it's just a nice reminder as well. So I want to share that with everybody. Oh, really quickly, I wanted to add a part also too, that because I could see just how affected their consciousness was of the people who are sort of like encased in that kind of gel-like or kind of like matrix of themselves, or that gel-like substance is a good reference there, because there really is something like that. It actually helped me to be more compassionate, also more compassionate, more kind of putting myself in a position almost like a father. You see a child doing certain things, but they don't really see they don't really see the choices objectively, or they can't sort of see what the effect is going to be. So it actually helped me to be more compassionate also. So I want to share that also.
Yeah, all these experiences that we're sharing with the world, we get to do it. How fun. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.